Hey guys, just thought I'd give you guys another little peek at the pfMonitor system I'm putting together. I've sped up the SQL queries running the system a lot more since the last release. I'm not sure why. Oh, that's a glitch I need to fix. There's still a glitch in the dashboard page when you first log in. These three items are incorrect. They're zeroed out or blank. But if you immediately click back on the dashboard, they usually, I think, yeah, they all populate back to normal. I'm still looking into that. It's probably just a mismatched variable during the login process. But once you're logged in and tabbing back and forth, it's all fine. It's just right when you log in that seems to occur part of the time. I'll figure that one out. Obviously, if you have firewalls added to the system, it will automatically notify you on the dashboard page if there's been any failed logins, and you can immediately just click on that and review the list. The account settings page now fully works. Basic stuff, just changing your password and changing your email address. There's nothing really else you would change. Dramatic speed ups on the global analytics section. Global scoreboard on average was taking 30 to 60 seconds to load because it was iterating through all the data. I was able to optimize the queries somewhat. That one took about 10 seconds, I would estimate. But it's literally drilling down at this moment 33.5 million rows of data that I have among the firewalls that I've added to this. I'm going to set up also an exporter so you can export your worst offending IPs into a list that's ready to just paste into pfSense. Obviously, you can see my networks at the data center are very, very popular for attacks. Now, if we wanted to see what they're attacking, what they're targeting on my networks, the target summary would be the one to check for that. That one loads really fast. That one I was able to optimize the searching a lot. I also added options that you may not have seen before for drilling down time periods. So if you want to see the last hour, the last 6 hours, the last month, anything in between, you can actually click on those presets. But you can also click on one of them, and if you just modify the get variable to the number of hours you want, you can actually set anything from 1 to 1,000,000 hours to go back. As for who's attacking me, we have the MyRI botnet, the MyRI botnet number 2, and the newest version of MyRI, which is now taking over DSL modems. That's what 7547 is. 7547 is the backdoor used by most DSL providers for firmware updates and remotely administering DSL modems. There is an injection exploit where they can upload a mod to the firmware and take complete root control of the firewall device, the DSL modem. And at that point, they can use it for a botnet. They can branch off and look at your internal network and steal things off your own PCs if they're not secured properly. Very nasty one right there, 7547. The DSL providers are slowly trying to patch that out, but the problem is when you reboot your modem, thus temporarily de-infecting it, they're scanning so rapidly that one researcher said it only took less than 5 minutes for a freshly rebooted DSL modem to completely be reinfected again. My suggestion would be put all your modems in bridge mode with some other firewall device behind them and make damn sure that that port is closed. Or if you can't close it, make sure you've got another firewall behind your modem so that it has no access to drill into your network. I'm honestly going to have to look into whatever 50797 is. That one must have been recent. I didn't see that one in the list until just today. All the rest of these are fairly obvious. SSH, secure HTTPS, port 80, remote desktop, SIP for PBXs, your NetBIOS, Microsoft SQL Server. I don't know why they're attacking this one unless there's some undisclosed vulnerability right here. That's probable that there's a vulnerability they're using. Obviously they're scanning MySQL databases. And if anybody is stupid enough to put Active Directory open to the WAN, well, I'm sure they'll regret it right here. And I have seen some really, really dumb techs do that from time to time. Alright, getting a little off topic here. So, I added a page here since the last video. Global target unique IPs. I could probably find some better terminology for that. But essentially this tracks the same thing the target summary tracks, but instead of telling you how many times a port has been attacked, it tells you how many unique IP addresses have attacked that port. Now, if you're one of those people who doesn't realize how dangerous and how widespread the MyRI botnets are, take a look at these numbers for unique IPs that are attacking. I hate Chrome. As much as I like it, sometimes I hate it. So for these three items right here, look at all those unique IPs that are out there scanning for machines and IoT devices to take over. Obviously, it's the Grand Canyon compared to a pebble. Magnitudes higher than anything else on the map. I haven't figured out what I want to do with the charts section yet, or what charts and what kind I want to put on here. But for the moment, these ones are fully functional. Used a nice little plugin called libchart. Basically, it uses the GD library to build the charts for me. All I have to do is provide the input data and how I want it to be tabulated and shown. The images are regenerated each time you view the page at the moment. I'm going to set it up to cache them in 5-minute intervals so that if you repeatedly hit the page, it won't regenerate the image every time. It'll just only regenerate it if it's older than 5 minutes. I haven't got to that part yet though, but I will. Okay, back to the analyticals. The scoreboard page is another one that I greatly increased the speed of. I actually was able to eliminate the nesting of the query in it to where it's just a single query without any nesting on it. It still takes a moment, but again, it's drilling down right now 3.5 million rows of data and building a summary off of that. Might have to see if I can do an index on the database and make it search a little bit faster. Right now I haven't built any indexes for the tables yet. I have keys set up, but that's about it. So obviously once I set up some indexes, it'll speed it up a bit, help it with searching. Wow, this is unusual. Normally the scoreboard page loads pretty quick unless Cloudflare is having a dirt moment again. Cloudflare died last night for about an hour. Let's try this again. Very strange indeed. The target summary page loads just fine. Again, in case you're not aware, the global analytics covers attacks against all clients, all firewalls across the entire pfMonitor system. The My Analytics is only your own firewalls. So the pages in here that look like they're duplicated, they are duplicated with the exception these ones only show your own data, whereas these allow you to see an anonymized version of the attacks that are also hitting everybody else, and yours as well. Now, I did some renaming here. The raw logs, it used to be named, well, it used to be named raw logs, but I've added layer 5 and layer 7. Layer 5 basically shows you the protocol-based attacks, attempts to connect to ports that are closed, the norm. Also UDP packets that happen to impact ports that aren't open. And I've gone a step further for those who host websites behind their pfSense, and I've built in layer 7 support with a module you can load under your website, under your Apache. You put the single file in and include it the proper way, and you end up with not just logging of SQL injection attacks, but the module will actually stop them and block them, even if the web application that you're protecting with it is very vulnerable to them. So say you had a vulnerable get variable on this page. Basically, putting this on there, as long as it lines up properly with that web application, it's not coded in some strange way, obscure way, the module 98% of the time will be able to block and log the attack, thus defending your web application from bot scanners, SQL injection hackers, stuff like that. You can see there's quite a lot of stuff in here. I have a number of volunteers donating their data into here, especially for the layer 5 stuff. The number of IP addresses that you see being logged all over the place. The authentications. So this tracks logins to the firewalls and to the OpenVPN clients. So if you have a user trying to log into OpenVPN, you see these. Basically, this is an older record. Basically, you have your failed logins, and you will have your successful logins in here too somewhere. I don't think I've tested any of those yet, though. I don't really use OpenVPN that much. I have not built the exporter yet, obviously, so it just shows up a 404. Haven't got to that yet. And obviously, we're not going to be showing you the administrative tools for security reasons. Now, this is just the tip of the iceberg and what I plan to offer in the end. I'm always open to suggestions. So if there's a page or a type of report or cross-referencing you would like to see in either the global or the My Analytics pages, be sure to post it in the thread for the pfSense website where we have the comments for this. So where is it? Here we are. Oh, come on. I believe my internet connection may actually be spotting out. That might be why that page was not loading right. I have a very crappy DSL connection here. Yeah. Kind of hard to see, but you can see the URL of this topic down there. Or you can search for it as well. I'll put it in the video comments as well, or the description section. Let's go back here. See if scoreboard loads any quicker. Still not sure why that page is taking so long. Its query is almost identical to the target summary page, and that one loaded very quickly. Also somewhat strange is that the global scoreboard loaded up, but the regular scoreboard did not, when technically the regular scoreboard is actually loading less data. Well, I will investigate that. Perhaps that was one of the updates to the code I made earlier threw something off. So far it's coming along nicely though. Before I end the video, I'll go ahead and also mention, I forgot to mention earlier, I did add some search boxes up here to this header bar where you can search for a port. Basically, that allows you to drill down the scoreboard to see only the IPs that have attacked a certain port number. So say we wanted to find out who has been attacking 7547, who's been attacking cable modems or DSL modems. And here is a complete list of all the IP addresses that have been harassing DSL modems. We even have a count to show us who's been the worst offender. And I would be willing to bet money that it's probably China. Interesting know who is data on that one. Seychelles, interesting. Although that could be from anywhere, it looks like that IP may be at a data center. Maybe a co-located or else a cloud server of some kind. Russian Federation. Not surprised at all. And that's the top 2 hitters by a decent margin. Although it looks like this person has a number of IPs that are all scanning the same thing. Who's this one? I'll have to look into that one further investigatively. Because it looks like they've got more than one IP address that are attacking. Looks like perhaps one of their entire CIDR ranges is attacking. Very interesting right there. I didn't notice that earlier. So, one more thing for me to look into. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Sorry for the low voice and the general nature of being slow to make it. Talk to you later.